So we are discussing about agriculture, Krishi. In India, agriculture is an important occupation. So India is an agriculturally important country. Two-thirds of the population, Indian population, is engaged in agricultural activities. Two-thirds. So this is a primary activity. And apart from this food grains, we also produce raw materials for the industries. Agriculture products like tea, like coffee, then we have spices. These are important export-wise, so we export it. So there are certain types of farming, because agriculture is an age-old economic activity in our country, and there are different types of cultivation methods we have, and that totally depends on the physical environment, and the technological know-how, and the socio-cultural practices. So these three, they define what kind of farming is being done. So it starts from the subsistence. This is given here, subsistence to commercial type of farming. So let us see the types of farming. So primitive subsistence farming. So this is practiced on a small patch of land. So the land is small, and this is practiced with involving family or community labor. So no labor is hired. Only the family people, those people which are from the same family or secondary family, they only are involved. And they use very primitive types of tools like hoe, digging sticks. So very primitive type of tools they use, like the hoe, the dowel, one more thing is there, the dowel, and the digging sticks. So this type of farming, it depends on the monsoon also, the natural fertility also, and the other the suitability of the environmental conditions to the crop being grown. So this is predominantly the manual labor is involved here, and it depends, as I said, on rainfall, that is monsoon for irrigation, and the artificial fertilizers and technology is not used. It is not used. So this kind of primitive subsistence farming is slash and burn. So this comes under slash and burn agriculture. So what is this slash and burn? The name itself says slash and then just burn. Just burn, that is, it's a primitive system of farming in which a piece of land, first it is cleared for vegetation by slashing. This is slash. So this land is first slashed or cleared for vegetation and burned, and then it is cultivated. So when the fertility of soil becomes less because of the cultivation, the farmer just leave this land. They move to another land, and now they do the same thing, slash and then burn. So this allow, because it is being left, this has been left now, the first one is left, they have gone to second one. So when this first one is left, this allow it to regain the fertility naturally, because the remnant or ash of the burnt vegetation is already there. And this is mostly or mainly done or widely prevalent among the tribes of Assam, Meghalaya, Chhattisgarh, Andaman Nicobar Islands. This is also called with different names in different places, called normally as jhuming or shifting cultivation. Jhuming or shifting cultivation. Then we have intensive subsistence farming. What does this mean? There is just a slight difference. So which we talked about slash and burn technique, that is only family members are involved here, and they just clear, slash the vegetation, and then they burn and they cultivate, and then they go to some other place. In this intensive subsistence farming, say what happens. Suppose this is a land being owned by one person. Now this person has, say, 4 kids. Now this will be divided into 4 parts. Now this person's family will be working here, this will be working here, this will be working here. Again, he will get, say, 4 kids. This again will be divided. So this kind of intensive, that is why the word intensive is there. That is, there is a very small area because of the high population density. This is how the population has increased and now the area has decreased. So maximum output is tried or is being outputted, that is tried to be generated from a very small piece of land for meeting the demands of this large population. This number of population is there, you can see. So this is labor intensive farming. At a very small place, a lot of labor is involved. That is, those people who are in a family, they work here and they do everything, like they use high dose of chemical fertilizers, they use a lot of irrigation, that is water, for increasing the production because the area is less and the people are more, so they have to feed them. So the intensive and primitive, both of them, intensive and primitive, both are done to self-feed. That means to feed the family itself, to feed the people who are doing it, not for selling it, not for any market gain. Whatever is produced is being fed to these people. Coming to commercial farming, they use special quality of HYV. HYV means high. This means high, and we have just make it high, then yielding and variety. So this is what HYV means, high yielding variety seeds. They use chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So now we have a very big land, quite a substantial length and breadth of land. They use, or the owner use, HYV seeds. They use chemical fertilizers, they use pesticides, and the main thing why this farming is done, for profit, for money, for the revenue. That is, these crops which are being grown here, they are to be sold. So cash crops instead of food crops are being cultivated as commercial farming, right? There is one more type of farming which is called as plantation. That is called bagan in Hindi. So this plantation is a form of commercial farming only. Please understand, plantation is also a form of commercial farming in which a single crop is grown over a very large tract of land. This includes the different crops which we grow here is tea, coffee, rubber, sugarcane, etc. These are the plantation crops. These are the plantation crops. So tea in Assam, North Bengal, coffee in Karnataka. These are some important plantation crops in these states, right? Cropping pattern. What is a cropping pattern? In India, it depends on the season in which when to sow the seed and when to cultivate. That means once to grow a crop and when to cut it. So it depends on the season, the different climate. So this is a cropping pattern which the Arabs, when they came, they saw the pattern and they called them as, they gave them certain names. And these names are what? Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. So these are sown or in a special reason. We'll just talk about this. So let me take you here. Kharif fasal, Rabi fasal and Zaid. So Kharif crop, this is a monsoon crop. This is a monsoon crop. So that is why we know that on 1st June, the monsoon enters India through Kerala. So Kharif monsoon crops, these are planted in June and they are harvested or cut in October. The main crops are rice, maize, cotton and groundnut. Then we have Rabi. So in between Kharif and Rabi, we have Zayad. So Rabi is a winter crop, Sheet Ritu crop. This is Sheet Ritu crop. It is a winter crop. That is why it is planted in November and harvested in April. The main crops are wheat, pea, barley and gram. Wheat, pea, barley and gram. So there is a time in between Kharif and Rabi. See, there is an October, so in mid-October it is done and it is November or early December it may start. So in between we have very short span of period. In this we grow Zayad, summer crop, planted in March. This is planted in March and it is harvested in June. The time can change. So watermelon, cucumber, these are the examples. I'll tell you the exact month now. So we will learn this by a kind of comparison. Rabi, as we just said, Rabi, this one is a winter crop. So winter crop is grown in or sown in October, December, harvested in summer, April, June. While the Kharif crop is a monsoon crop. So grown with the onset of monsoon. June it start, harvested in September, October. Zayad, as I said, this is a crop between Rabi and Kharif. So it is between them and this is grown during summer. So what are the major Rabi crops? Wheat, this is a major crop. Barley, gram, peas, mustards, these are some of the important crops of Rabi season. Then we have Kharif. Kharif, this, as I said, grown in June, harvested in September, October. So major crops is paddy, rice. Why we need rice? See, Kharif is a monsoon crop and you know paddy or rice need lot of water. So this way you can remember maize, jowar, bajra, tur dal, moong dal, urad dal, soya bean, jute, cotton, groundnut. These are the major Kharif fasal. In Zayad we have in between like mostly these crops are not the food grains, watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetable and the fodder crops, that is to feed the cattle, etc. These are the fodder crops. These are some of the crops being grown. And sugarcane is an annual crop. It takes 7 to 8 months for sugarcane to grow, so it's an annual crop. Now in Rabi, this is availability of precipitation helps in the growth of Rabi crops. There has to be some kind of precipitation is good. Kharif, paddy is an important crop of Punjab and Haryana. We know that rice production is more in Punjab and Haryana. In Rabi, the success of Green Revolution is awarded, or you can say this has also been an important factor in the growth of Rabi crops. Kharif, in Assam, West Bengal and Odisha, in one year, 3 crops are grown of paddy. 3 crops of paddy in Assam, West Bengal and Odisha are grown and these are known as Os, Aman, Boro. Os, Aman, Boro. So this is about the Rabi, Kharif and Zayad. These are the cropping pattern. And now we will talk about the major crops. We'll start with the rice. Let me show you, this is the rice cultivation. And here we have rice which is ready to be harvested in the field with the food grains already ready. So let me take you to rice. Rice is a staple diet of India. India ranks second in the world in terms of rice production after China. Rice, as we now know, it's a Kharif fasal because it needs a lot of water. So it has to be some water, or the paddy crops are always in the water. They are, the starting point where we sow seed, it needs a lot of water. Temperature needed is about 25% centigrade and a very good amount of humidity is required. The rainfall should be more than 100 centimeter, 100 centimeter. And major rice producing areas are West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha and Chhattisgarh. So these are the major areas. These are the major areas which we talked about. Then we have some minor areas also. These are some minor areas also. So these are the major areas. This is West Bengal. This is West Bengal. Then we have Uttar Pradesh here, Bihar, then Bihar, Odisha and Chhattisgarh area. Wheat. So this is the main food crop of northern India. Wheat is a rabi crop. This is a picture of a wheat cultivation. It requires cold climate and very good bright sunshine, because the seeds, the grain have to reap. So that is why it requires bright sunshine. The rainfall needed is around 50 to 75 centimeter, and major wheat producing areas are Punjab, Haryana, UP, Bihar, Rajasthan and MP. Along with these two crops, we talked about rice and wheat, we have millets. Millets means, we also call it as mota grain, that the bigger grain. Rice and wheat are not in that. Millets means we have mota anaj. So millets comes in this. Jawar, bajra, ragi. These are important millets. So jawar, if you see, these are the picture. This is the bajra and this is the maize. Maize is nothing but the bhutta, is bhutta. So jawar, third most important crop in terms of production is jawar. It grows well in the moist areas where we have good humidity. And then largest producer of jawar is Maharashtra. Then following is Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Coming to bajra, this grows well on the sandy soil, balua soil, where we have a blend of the reth, that is sand, and the main soil, that is the black soil. So sandy soil and black soil, these are very good for bajra. Largest producer is Rajasthan. Which is the largest producer in bajra? Rajasthan. Then comes Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, followed by Gujarat and Haryana. Coming to ragi. Ragi is a crop that grows very well on red, black, sandy, loamy and black soil. Which state is the largest producer of this ragi? It's Karnataka. Karnataka is the largest producer of ragi. Then comes the Tamil Nadu. This ragi is very rich in Fe, iron and Ca, calcium. So ragi is very important as in terms of paushtikta, nutrients. So iron and calcium, these minerals are being found, and these are actually elements. Then coming to the most important, which you find everywhere in the northern India, bhutta. You will see them, people eating it raw just by just burning it somewhat. So maize, it is used both as food and fodder. The temperature required is around 21 degrees centigrade to 27 degrees, and they grow well on old alluvial soil. Old alluvial means jalod mitti. So old alluvial soil. And who are the major producers? Again, maize, starting with Karnataka, then Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. So let me show you the major area of wheat. These are the major areas. Ganga, Satluj here. Then we have, these are the minor areas, means these are also produced but less than this one, less than this major area. Coming to pulses. So India is the largest producer. That doesn't mean that we export that much. We actually import it. India is the largest producer because we are largest consumers also. We are the largest producers as well as the largest consumer of pulses. Pulses are the, you can say, chicken of the vegetarians. It is rich in protein. It has a lot of protein. The important pulses in India are tur, urad, moong, masoor, peas and gram. So this also improves the fertility of soil because it has nitrogen fixation bacteria. So growing of pulse in between the crops will help because the soil will get enriched in nitrogen. So pulses are being grown in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and Karnataka. Then comes the sugarcane. Sugarcane, if you see, these are food crops other than grains. So these are food crops other than grains. That is sugarcane. So this, if you see, this is a sugarcane cultivation. Then we have certain others also we will be discussing just now. These are groundnut, sunflower, mustard. These are ready to be harvested. We'll just talk about that. But let me first tell you about sugarcane. So what are the important points of sugarcane? It grows in tropical as well as subtropical regions. So it is a tropical as well as subtropical crop. It grows well in hot and humid climate. The temperature required is around 21 degree to 27 centigrade. The rainfall is from 75 to 100 centimeter. And India is the second largest producer. Who is the first in sugarcane? It's Brazil. After Brazil, we are the second largest producer of sugarcane. Sugar, jaggery and molasses are produced from sugarcane and they are also used a lot in different industries. So they are grown in Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab and Haryana. Now then we come to tilhan, that is the oil seeds. So we have to talk about this oil seeds after this. This is the oil seed. We call it as, say there are three things, khadyan, tilhan and dalhan. Dalhan means pulses and tilhan means from where oil is coming. So we have oil seeds. So India is the largest producer all over the world in terms of oil. So major oil seeds are groundnut, means from all these oils are extracted. You might be using it in your food. So major oil seeds are groundnut, mustard, coconut, sesame, soya bean, sunflower, cotton seeds, and these are used in cooking oil, also used in making ointments and soaps and cosmetics. That is how these oil seeds are so important to us. Then coming to groundnut. Groundnut is the largest grown oil seed in India. Largest grown oil seed in India is what? It is groundnut. Largest producer is what? Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh is the largest producer of groundnut, followed by Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat and Maharashtra. So tea. Now tea is a plantation crop. Along with this coffee also, coffee is also a plantation crop. So this tea is a plantation crop and this is the tea cultivation. If you see these are the plantation of tea and these are the tea leaves harvesting being done. So this is a beverage, that means tea is used for refreshment, for drinking. So beverage crop, it was introduced by a British. So tea actually was from China and then British brought it into India. It grows well in tropical as well as subtropical climate on fertile soil, but it requires labor intensive. So this is a labor intensive farming it requires. In Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, tea is planted. And India is the largest producer. Along with this, the producer, India is also the largest consumer also and exporter of tea to the world. Coming to coffee. Coffee is also a beverage. So India accounts for 4% of world's coffee production, 4%. So two varieties of coffee, Arabica and Robusta, these are grown in India. So these coffee plantation, they are in Nilgiri hills of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So this coffee and tea, they are beverage and this variety which we just talked about, it came from Yemen. These two, Arabica and Robusta, and this variety is in demand. So initially the cultivation was introduced on the Baba Budan Hills, and after that, well, now we have the Nilgiri Hills of Karnataka and Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And when we talk about this tea, as we just talked about Assam, West Bengal, and Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So in Assam, these major tea producing states, as we saw, Assam and hills of Darjeeling, Jalpaiguri district, West Bengal, in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And apart from this, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Meghalaya, Andhra Pradesh and Tripura, they are also tea producing states. And as we said, that we are producer as well as the leading exporter of tea. Coming to horticulture crops, so India is the largest producers of fruit and vegetables. So growing fruit and vegetables, it comes under horticulture. If you see here that India is producer of tropical as we just saw, temperate fruits. So mangoes of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. Oranges of Nagpur and Cherrapunji, that is Cherrapunji in Meghalaya. And bananas of Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Lychee and guava of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. And pineapples of Meghalaya. Grapes of Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra. Apples, pears, apricots and walnuts of Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. They are in demand all over the world. So India is producing 13% of the world total vegetable. And what do we have here? Pea, cauliflower, onion, cabbage, tomato, brinjal and potato. So let me go through this again. Mango, it is grown in Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal. Oranges are grown in Nagpur and Cherrapunji. Bananas in Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Apple, pears and apricot grown in Jammu Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. Now we will discuss about the non-food crop. All those we discussed are food crop, that is either we eat them directly or in some form we eat them. But we have now non-food crops. They are also being grown. If you see, this is an example of a cotton cultivation. So rubber, equatorial crop. It's an equatorial crop, but can also grow in tropical region, tropical climate. So rubber plantation, actually it's a plantation crop. So it requires moist and humid climate. The rainfall about 200 centimeter and temperature about 25 degrees centigrade. That is why Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Andamans, they are the producers of, or the rubber plantation is there. India is the 5th largest producer of natural rubber. We are 5th largest producer of natural rubber. Let me go again to the places where we get rubber. It is Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Andaman, right? Now we have some fiber crops. These fiber crops, let me show you one more thing, that this rubber is used where. Most of the rubber we generate is employed or used in auto tires and tubes. Then we have dipped goods, latex, belts and hoses, footwear, camelback, cycle tires and tubes. Fiber crops, cotton, jute, silk, hemp. Hemp is a cannabis. So these are fiber crops grown in India. Coming to cotton, India ranks 3rd in the terms of cotton production. So we are 3rd as far as cotton is concerned all over world. So cotton is grown on black soil of the Deccan Plateau. It requires high temperature and light rainfall for growing. So it needs 210 frost-free days. So if there is frost, then we will have some problem. So 210, there should not be any frost, and it needs bright sunlight. It is a kharif crop. Cotton is a kharif crop. So we are talking about cotton. It requires temperature and light, high temperature and light rainfall for growing. So this cotton, jute, silk, hemp, in this cotton, it is a kharif crop. It is a kharif crop, and it takes 6 to 8 months to mature. Cotton takes 6 to 8 months to mature. And where it is grown? Copper. It is grown in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Haryana, and UP. And these are the places we just talked about: Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. You have to remember this. Now coming to jute. So it is also known as the golden fiber. It also requires high temperature and a well irrigated, watered, fertile soil, and it is grown in West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Odisha, and Meghalaya. So these are the places of jutes, and it is used to make gunny bags, mats, ropes, yarns, carpets, and there are other artifacts also. So along with this, there is always a demand for technological and institutional reforms. It started all way back, and we are actually the agrarian country. So agriculture economy we are. So there has to be some land reforms. So land reforms has been done in the recent past by the government, and this involved initiation, or it started with the first 5-year plan itself when we got independence. And the major land reforms were collectivization, consolidation of land holdings, abolition of zamindari system. So what was happening was, it is called this is called chakbandi. That is, many people or many farmers would have very small piece of land. So they can't get the actual output, and the fertility also is lost. So there is an idea of chakbandi, means combine them and then grow a single crop like this. So collectivization and consolidation of land holdings. And of course, farmers used to work for the zamindars. Zamindars were having their land, and they would just employ these farmers, and they wouldn't pay that much amount, and they were getting all money also and privileges also. So this is how the main idea was to abolish this zamindari system. Apart from this, there were technological reforms also. In this, we will talk about the Green Revolution. First, you see, these are the pictures of modern technological equipment which are used in agriculture. So when we talk about Green Revolution, so this Green Revolution was introduced in 1960s. What is the basic idea? To increase the crop production. So use of high yielding varieties, that is specially created, genetically modified, and high quality, high yielding varieties of seeds in order to improve the overall production were introduced, and then the chemical fertilizers and pesticides were introduced. So this together made the difference, and it was called Green Revolution. White, because the milk is white, for that white revolution was the idea. It is known as Operation Flood also, and this was basically to improve the milk production in the country. So how this can happen? Hybrid varieties of cattle were bought, and they were breeded, and this is how white revolution came into being. So we are talking about this two things, which was Operation Flood and the revolution which is called Green Revolution. So this was all started in this post-independence era, and various things were being adopted at this time. And not only these two, but institutional reforms in agriculture were done. That is the Land Development Program. It was introduced in 1980s, Land Development Program, And this scheme, there was a scheme of crop insurance. If drought happens, sukha, or baad or flood comes, or there is a fire, or there is some disease to the crop, then a farmer has no insurance at that time. If something happens, he would just commit suicide, because whatever he has invested, nothing is going to come out. Nobody is there to give him. So the scheme was introduced for crop insurance. If something happens, the kisan or the farmer will get something out of it. Then the Grameen banks and cooperative societies, they were also established for extending the agriculture loans. Then banks were inspired for priority sector lending, that is to lend the farmers. The rates were very cheap for lending them the you can say the money they would take. So the interest rate would be very less as far as the government lending is concerned. This is called priority sector lending. And Kisans were given this Kisan credit card, and this started in 1998 and 1999 by the Government of India in collaboration with the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, and the NABARD. Kisan credit card. So this is a credit card with certain limit. This might have changed. So let us say that it is 50,000. This is issued to farmers, so they can just avail instant credit. This is why this is credit card. So they can just avail instant money or credit, and repayment is done after the crops are harvested. So for preparing the crop, or for sowing and doing all the stuff to create a crop, they have now some money in their hand, and the repayment can be done when they get the profit out of the market selling of this crop. And there were special programs also for farmers on agriculture. They were introduced and broadcasted and telecasted in television and radio. So this was done. So there is one more thing, a Bhudan movement. After Gandhiji, Vinoba Bhave, he was his spiritual heir, or you can say his Uttaradhikari. So he went several places. One place he went and there were farmers asking for something. And one person suddenly, Sri Ramachandra Reddy, he just stood and he offered to give 80 acres of land. So everyone after this was doing this Bhudan. Bhudan, Bhu means Zameen or land, and Dan means you can say giving it for free. So this is Gram Dan. So this was the Bhudan movement without doing anything, means without even having any quarrel or fight. The people who were having land, they were giving it. So this Bhudan movement, it was started by Acharya Vinoba Bhave in 1951 in Andhra Pradesh. And this refers to gifting of land by big landlords which were having a huge amount of land to the landless farmers. So this movement aimed at reducing the unequal distribution of land among the farmers, because some farmers were having immense land, some were not having even a single, you can say, centimeter or millimeter of land. So to reduce the unequal distribution, this Bhudan movement was very, very useful. Villages were also gifted, called the Gram Dan by big zamindar. So this is the Gram Dan. So this happened at that time. Then government came up with the public distribution system, and this was a revolution actually. Bhutan was a revolution. It was bloodless because people were giving them the lands, etc. by themselves. Now coming to the public distribution system, it is a program of the government, and the government started this program just to ensure, because it is government duty to ensure food security of food grains to people, poor people, at a very highly subsidized prices. Now this is not subsidized, this is highly subsidized price. This, if you get say rice at 50 rupees per kg, you will get here in 2 rupees per kg, 3 rupees per kg. This is how the level of subsidy was given in this public distribution system. So ration cards are issued to each household with their how many people live there, and food grains along with the kerosene and various other things, oil, can be purchased from a fair price shops under the system, and these shops were properly governed by the government. Then comes the Food Corporation of India, FCI, and this is a nodal agency. This does procurement and storage of food grains. So FCI, what is the task of FCI? It is the procurement and then to store the food grains. And why this is done? In order to ensure again the food security, that is the food availability for people of India. Then government came up with a minimum support price. See, if government doesn't take things or crops or final things from farmers, what will happen? If farmer goes to some market and there are so many people who are buying it, and they will ask for some different kind of money, means maybe exorbitant money. So governments fix a price, government fix 1600 per kg for rice or wheat. I'm just taking an example. So this is the minimum support price. So if a farmer comes with 1 ton or 100 kg of rice, he will get at least 1600 bucks. This is the minimum support price. So anybody who is actually buying, maybe outside the government, he cannot go below this 1600, because the farmer will say, okay, you are buying in 1700, why would I give you? Means you are buying in say 1500, why would I give you? I'm getting 1600 from the government. So this is the minimum support price at which the FCI, Food Corporation of India, procures, because the idea of procurement or the task of procurement is done by FCI. So FCI procures food grains from the farmers. Then comes the organic farming. Farming, because while green revolution was taking place, so a lot of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers and pesticides were being used, and that caused the land degradation. So it became very important for the farmers now to adopt the organic farming and government to support it. So this is a form of agriculture that employs only natural methods, no chemical or any other method, such as just crop rotation, green manure, biological pest control and mechanical cultivation for getting a higher yield, higher crop. So only the way it has to be done, it should be done. No other added thing will be entertained in organic farming. So it does not rely, or it does not use or allow any chemical fertilizers or pesticides. Therefore it does not degrade the quality of soil. So there is no land degradation here. So this is what we talked about the FCI, about the PDS system. There is one more thing I need to tell you, that there are certain classes in which the people are divided, BPL and APL. So BPL are below poverty line, APL are above poverty line. So these all FDS PDS is the public distribution system. These are being done specifically to feed the BPL, because the main idea is the food security. No one should sleep without food. Every citizen of this country should get at least that amount of food in very fair price, very reasonable price. So this is what being done. And the basic one more thing which comes here is the way in which the agriculture is being done. So all this inefficient way of irrigation, that is a lot of water or irrigation, a lot of fertilizer, pesticides, these all things has to be changed. And pulses and all the wheat grains, they need to be grown in tandem, so that the soil does not lose its fertility, because pulses have nitrogen fixation bacteria. And then all these things, if it is done, these kind of situation will not arise. All these suicides, etc., will not arise. And then we talked about the organic farming, and this will restore all those land degradation which was going on. And now the things are that apart from rice and sugarcane, there are other fuels or ways also, that is the biodiesel crops like jatropha and jojoba. They need much less irrigation than rice and sugarcane. So India is a diverse climate. So all these things can be harnessed, and wide range of high value crops can be grown by this organic farming, genetic engineering, all these. Genetic engineering is a concept in which a very small crop, this is say a very small plant, and it gives some fruit, say tomatoes, and the normal tomato will go like this, it will give like this, some will grow, some will not grow, but this comes with genetic engineering. So now with little effort, lot of production can be done.